Hey, team, I'd like to thank you all for being able to meet again tonight. I know it's a late meeting, so we'll do our best to keep things on time and on schedule. So, as always, Jennifer, if you wouldn't mind paying attention to the time for us, that way we can stay on track with everything. And we'll start out with, first of all, do you mind reminding everyone of the team rules?
Since team rules are always subscribe to the thread in the assignment, check on the discussion board daily, be prepared for meeting prior to, everyone must cooperate, we are a team, work together and make an effort to support one another, be genuine with one another about ideas or issues, be open minded. If any team member is having an issue with meetings, let the leader Joshua know promptly.
Okay, thank you. So, I guess we can start off with. Uh, Sorry about that. Zoom did something really crazy. So what we can do is we're going to jump into the meeting, and the way this will work will be a roundtable discussion. So the first thing we'll discuss is the actual solutions that we came up with in the previous meeting. And so there will be no real working order on this. Just uh, discuss, kind of see what we all think about all the solutions and which ones we kind of feel we might want to go with. So I will open the floor up to that.
I guess I can start. I did look more into companies that have adopted stress management programs. If you look at the Zoom chat real quick, I'm gonna give you a link to what I was able to find that gave kind of an outline for how some of these companies are able to run these. It's from Health Advocate. It's a organization that's currently has 5,000 clients nationwide, and they're one of the leading independent healthcare advocacy and assistant companies. It was just a lot of giving a background of you got to start with your employees, start with an assessment of where everyone's at in the company, just get like a basis of how everyone's doing. Maybe go out survey all the employees, just maybe get a stress management team running. Maybe get someone one person from each department that's basically their spokesperson that that knows the employee, that knows what they do, that can relate with them a little bit more than just some outside HR rep coming in saying, "Oh, hey, uh, I know the job description of your job. Uh, let's see where you're stressed out." Uh, the next step was to encourage maximum participation among all these people. You got to apply the organizational strategies, which is just like create a more collaborative work environment, provide opportunities for these social interactions, then offer multiple approaches because, of course, not everyone reacts to the same way of dealing with stress. There is ways that you can enlist community organizations such as YMCA's. They provide either on-site yoga instructors or a lot of these mental health centers. They can hold seminars on stress and coping strategies. Uh, they also recommend to institute a work-life balance strategies, which gives employees more of a flex time and gives them either more time for their breaks or allows work from home to let the employee deal with how they need to get their work done and also deal with their personal lives. Uh, there's also the encouragement of the individual stress management, which is giving them the tools of what they may need and just letting them figure it out on their own, not necessarily send them on their own way because if they need help, they can always ask for it. But a lot of people like to deal with their stress on their own way and then just evaluate success of the program, which is basically just, as we were saying, just timely checkups, go back saying, hey, how's everything? How are things going? Is there anything more that you need us to do? Uh, I know one of the big things I talked about was getting management really involved, making sure management knows what's going on. So I found another link from the University of Michigan that I will share real quick. And it's basically they offer seminars and events to teach people how to identify stress, what stress is, ways to combat it. They have both in-person and online tutorials for supervisors. So that's definitely a solution that I was able to find that I really looked into that allows both managers and employees a way to cope with their stress.
Okay, I dig that. That actually would fit in pretty good with. I don't know how you guys felt about the whole discussion board deal, like what Amazon does. But I was kind of looking at it today on my lunch break. I kind of broke some stuff down. I went and talked to our IT guy about it just to get some input, and I kind of came up with a cool breakdown of the budget, which kind of incorporates a lot of our ideas and kind of gives us a multi-tiered level of things we can implement. If you did the discussion board, you'd probably be looking at about $10,000 up front just to get everything up and running, all the user seats, program made for it. That being said, would be perfect for having a stress management team involved with facilitating that. And after that, then you can break it down into if you did want to do like the company Christmas party, that would cost about $3,750, which would have all the stuff already set up, food, there'd be awards that you could give out, having someone come in and speak if you wanted, and then I wheeled it down to having a life coach or yoga person on staff once a week for an hour. And if you had 15-minute breaks, they were allowed to go see them. You'd probably get quite a bit done, and that would leave a remaining budget of $11,000. So out of $11,000, we could implement a lot of like the small programs, a stress management, holiday events, a mental health day where employees, instead of working, can have a fun day at work, because out of the budget, you would have $73.66. You could work in a this is how much we're going to give you for today's work out of that. So see what you guys think about that. And
I like that idea. I like that you can do a lot with the budget because, to a lot of people, 30 grand is like what, especially trying to figure out stuff for all employees, because who knows how many employees, can come on to the force and everything on the IT part and everything else. So I think it's good that budget is broken down to where we get multiple areas are hit, like fun, and then there's the in-work life, and then there's the personal life. Like every area is kind of hit for every employee. So
gotcha. Yeah, totally. And I sat down and I looked at a lot of the things I had found, and these companies put big money, like big money, like they were buying Fitbits for everyone. And when I was looking at the budget, I'm like, yeah, you'd get the Chinese version off Amazon. So, but no, yeah, I kind of broke it down and realized that if you spend a bulk of the money on bigger programs as a whole, then you wheedle it down to $73.66 employee, or you could just call it a budget of 11,000 and play around with implementing small stuff, especially the small programs you can implement, based off of what a stress management team thinks is necessary. So I like what you said in there. So if you have like a stress team, someone from every department, they could come back and evaluate and say, hey, some of these guys are really stressing over this. And then you could do more research. Let's bring in someone to talk about, whatever A is bothering them or B. So I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I think meditation, have a quiet time. I think that'll be beneficial too.
Oh yeah.
And so relaxing and just giving the brain a rest. Yeah. So, and then that'll be less stress on your heart or your organs, other organs in your body. So, yeah. So just that meditation, quiet time.
That's actually a good one. because a lot of companies are implementing quiet rooms.
Mhm.
I know my cousin's job has one where it's like a dark room with a couple couches in it. It's only lit by lamp. It's very inexpensive to throw together, but you're just really stressed. You just get up, walk away from your computer, go chill in there for a minute, get yourself right, do some breathing exercises, whatever you need to do, and then mosey back to your desk. And a cool thing about doing something like that is that some of these programs don't have to cost money, and
Mhm.
so I mean you'd be out only I don't know what $1,000 if you were buying just some furniture to put in an office already set up.
Yeah.
So that would be totally doable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think also relaxing music. It's different. There's music that can relax you too. So they can play music while they're in the office as well too. Relaxing music.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Um, there was somebody, um, I think it was you, Joshua, that were talking about decorating your desk and everything. I think that would be real fun. And it just kind of, I feel like it's just kind of more of a bonding thing more than anything. Like everybody gets to laugh and joke and get to have fun and, go around, look at everybody's stuff. And I feel like it would open up people a lot more because it would show off their own personalities. Like it would show them and, like what they think of Halloween time or what do they think of Christmas time? What do they think of? And I feel like it would make for good, I guess you could say, conversation pieces, which, everything starts with a good conversation. So,
Oh yeah. And if we choose to add that one in as a pitch, since my cousin does that at her job, she's the CEO of Profiles International. She has fun pictures of all their cubicles set up as like the haunted houses, and I didn't know this, but she said that what they do is on actual Halloween. Uh, After they close everything down at 4 o'clock, if you have kids, you can bring them into the office at 4 o'clock and go from cubicle to cubicle getting candy. And so
that's
it's
nice.
also a cool way to incorporate your family as well. And so you
Yeah.
get to build that team building and fun time with your employees and then your families. And it honestly costs the company nothing except for some time lost, which is that's easily ate up anyway in the company. So dig
I
that.
like. Oh, sorry. I like the increase in break times. I feel like that will help give people less. They can just relax and take a breather from whatever they're working from. Because sometimes it can be frustrating when you can't figure out a problem or a situation. So just take a step back, relax and refresh, and come back.
Yeah, I'm on the same page with you. I don't think there's anything wrong with adding a little bit extra time to break time. And amazingly enough, that really wouldn't impact our budget because, like I said, that's just
Mhm.
it's time lost. And when you
Yeah.
pitch that idea, it's a lot easier to say. You have employees come in. What is the first thing they do to get there straight at 8 o'clock? They go get a cup of coffee. They go to the bathroom. It's like usually 15 minutes to get to your desk to get your day started. At least that's me. But uh, that being said, that's so if you were to sit there and take an extra 15 minutes, give someone 30 minutes twice a day, you're not eating up that much time lost. But you're giving your employees a good mental break. Gives them that time for a go to a quiet room. Because 15 minutes to me would just be kind of like not working. That's perfect. That's a good idea. All right. That went pretty smoothly. So I guess as a format of all the things we kind of went over, highlighted, so y'all are cool with an app or a discussion board deal. Definitely doing like a holiday party for everyone at the end of the year. Bringing in a life coach program, which could be really from anywhere as long as it meets $100 an hour per week, which would stay within the budget. And then after that, implement all of the small group stuff like small programs, holiday events, quiet time and increased break time, and a stress management team who would oversee a lot of things from the discussion board all the way down to small groups. That seemed like a pretty decent step on. Cool. So I guess now it comes down to evaluating each solution. I'm going to read you guys something that Dr. Doolin sent me today. Step 5 is to discuss all of the brainstorming ideas we generated in step 4, brainstorming solutions of the problem. We need to evaluate each solution we choose to use against our research and criteria. This meeting will go lengthy. I don't think it's too lengthy. We're pretty much all on the same page. But it sets up the last video. This is a problem-solving process. You need to remember that it's not about winning or losing when it comes to our ideas. It's about, as a team, coming together and feeling comfortable with what we've decided. So I don't want anyone to walk away from this feeling like I didn't feel heard or something's not happening that I like. That would be totally the wrong thing for this meeting. I'll make sure everyone's comfortable with my input was taken and implemented, and we all felt good about it. And we will have more than one final solution in this stress policy. So it'll be important for us to sit down and list out what policies will be, which we kind of already did in the first segment of it pretty well. So now all we need to do is establish our ideas, kind of refine the policy. So, oh, and she also told me to tell all of you, you're doing well, staying on pace. That I'm glad to hear.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So now I guess I guess we'll start the evaluation of solutions. Does anyone want to? We get 3 minutes apiece. Does anyone want to kind of evaluate any of that? Anything that you feel that might not fit the criteria that we set? Our criteria currently is must include all employees in our plan with adequate feedback, must respect all employees' privacy and implement co-bonding, should have social support, should not overspend past our budget, and should not be biased towards any department. I feel like we pretty much nailed it. I think Ernesto brought in that fantastic part about a stress management team, because that really adds to one of our criteria, should have social support. I totally dig that.
Yeah.
Just one thing that I gotta ask real quick for the like the example of the Google discussion board. Would that be people can come on anonymously?
Yeah. What I was going to plan on doing is on the discussion board. Before I post this, I was going to I'm going to send this to all of you. That way you kind of have it. And that's something we can all discuss on the discussion board about, like, what are some features that would be ideal for that. I know some of the things that I had seen and read about was, one, the discussion board, you had the ability to log on anonymously. And you literally could go on and say, hey, I'm having a problem with all this loud music in the office. Well, your neighbor could sit there anonymously and go, I am too. And now you can get a third one, I'm so sick of it, I wish someone would do something about it. You got 3 employees who are now gossiping. But the cool thing is, everyone in the company is reading this. So whoever's doing it, there's a good potential that they will stop doing what they're doing because they're like, oh, I'm making people mad. Don't know who. And in some instances, Google found that CEOs were getting involved because they're included, and were like, hey, what's going on with this loud music? And so supervisors were now being told, hey, you need to be checking your department. And also there's another side to it where it's not anonymous. You can log on and say, hey, I'm going bowling tonight. Who's in? And then that would offer people throughout the whole company, yeah, I want to go, or anything like that. And one of the examples I read from Google was that some employees said something about having a barbecue and playing like a racquetball or something like that. And the CEO of the company chimed in and said, I'm in, and he paid for all of it. And so I was like, well, that's kind of cool. So I think it's neat because it opens the communication level company wide, and at the same time, the major stress factor they implemented was, or not implemented, stated was the fact that there's no small group gossip. Uh, Having it all open and aired out, and there's not employees going around and saying, "Hey, did you hear about Gary over there being an idiot?" It's straight up all open. So it's kind of cool to have an open concept of communication. And looking at how to build it, it wouldn't be so bad. I did price it out, trying to find how much it would cost to have that program, and it's usually upward around $15,000 and $20,000. But my IT guy was like, if you guys are a freaking network company and you do engineering on servers and stuff, clearly you have a server somewhere that could be purged out and used for this. So it'd be easy to get it done at a cheaper price for around $10,000. So that was kind of a good insight that I thought we could use when we pitch this idea. Is it's really expensive, but because of the assets we already have, it'd be a lot easier to implement.
Yeah, and it definitely meets our criteria of respecting privacy. It allows people to say what they say their grievances and get everything out in the open. The no department biases, since everyone's allowed to see it. There's not like one group of departments or a group of people that are like, hey, this department's doing whatever, blah, 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 and just able to talk about it. The only thing that I see with it is that with it being anonymous, there could be the one or two employees that take it a little too far and may say some stuff. So there would need to be something to either filter out some of the stuff that's said, or a way for one person to be able to say, oh, it was this person that said it. Of course, we're going to respect the non not we're going to respect people's privacy of what they've said, and we won't say everybody who said whatever unless it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
But it is definitely something that will need to be, like, I guess, monitored at some point.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there'd have to be a privacy policy, I'm sure, that would come in with that. You'd have to sign off on it, understand that your conduct can be traced back to you at a higher level from our internal IT, but as far as company wide, you're not.
Mhm.
So don't go into troll mode, but be open. So yeah, I agree with that. Rules would definitely be needed, and some sort of privacy act or contract.
But yeah, other than that, it does meet basically all 5 criteria that we have so far.
Yeah, I feel like we all did a pretty daggone good job when it came to creating the criteria and then sticking with it during the brainstorming. I know she was kind of looking for out there, outlandish ideas that we could eliminate, but I'm not seeing us with that problem. So it's pretty cool. So fairly quick meeting tonight. I guess we can conclude with a summary of everything we've already covered. So essentially, we'll do a discussion board, holiday Christmas party, bring in a yoga life coach, and we'll look at resources like from the YMCA and some of the articles that Ernesto has brought up to us. And after that, take our remaining balance to implement smaller programs, and we'll have a nice hefty budget of $11,000. And we've taken into effect that some things won't cost as much money to implement, and some things will, so we can get a lot done and have probably, I guess you'd call this a 5-tiered plan. So we would handle communication, and that will be our main goal for stress reduction. Then co-bonding, something that we were looking to do, and which would be the Christmas party, and also, the small programs and small events. And then just the de-stressing factor, bringing in the life coach for an hour a week to help employees that may need to utilize that. So I feel like we tapped into 3 key elements, a physical, mental aspect. And the quiet room and all that stuff would essentially not be too expensive, and something that we could pitch is how much budget we might have left over in the year, and how that could be rolled into the next year. And I will already have a functional discussion board. That $10,000 will not have to be used again. So therefore, we would have a $20,000 budget to implement more guest speakers, more small programs, and more activities during the work week. Maybe bringing in a life coach and yoga instructor twice a week versus just once a week. So, being pretty good. Fantastic. So I guess now we can discuss our next meeting. Our next meeting, I have it on the agenda sheet. I think I put it on. Yes. We still need to schedule that, but this meeting will be a continuation of this meeting. And all we're going to do in this one is we will take the steps that we've established today and basically outline this on how we're going to present this. So I'll make sure to put all this information on the discussion board. That way each of us can kind of refine it and make it a little bit better. And that way we can all discuss that and basically present it with ourselves. I guess I'm going to ask Dr. Doolin how she wants us to do this meeting and see if she wants it done in a manner we're pitching it, or are we just stating what we're doing? Because I know our final project is pitching this to the company. So I got to find out exactly where the last step takes us. So definitely get with me. Let me know what you guys think. I'll reach out to Rosio, make sure she's okay. I want to make sure she's at the next meeting. So other than that, anyone else have anything they want to add?
So this next meeting is going to be the 5th meeting, right? "Quote unquote."
Yeah, it'll be the
4th recording.
It'll be the 4th meeting, but it'll be step 5.
Gotcha. And this is the one that has to be done by the 23rd.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So this last one, we've done really good. We were able to put 2 meetings together. Some people, I think, were doing criteria as one and brainstorming, but she told me if you guys can nail it out in one meeting, go for it. And clearly, we got it all done in, I think, 40 minutes. So that was pretty good in my book. And this meeting is going about 30 minutes. So we're meeting the criteria for meetings. So yeah, I would expect the next one to probably go about 30 to 40 minutes. So if you guys wanted to schedule it again, at 9:30, I don't know how that works with you guys. I'll reach out to Rosio and make sure she's up to speed on everything that happened. I don't want her to get behind on anything. Feel like she didn't have any input. So perhaps even at the next meeting, we can open it up. That way she can be a part of the decision making. I think that would be pretty good. So I appreciate you guys so much for meeting tonight. It's late, so appreciate y'all so much. And you guys are doing good work. So,
Thank you.
you guys, yeah.
Did you want me to put the your notes on your notebook sheet? Did you want me to put that in these notes, or did you want to just set it as a separate one?
Yeah, I can do that for you. What I'll do is I'll scan it in at work tomorrow and I'll email it to you. That way you
Okay.
get handwritten notes. And I'll also put it in the discussion board too.
Okay.
Fantastic. You guys have a good night.
All right, y'all too. Bye.
All right.
You too.